This podcast is sponsored by the UK's #1 matched betting site. OddsMonkey shows you exactly how to turn free bets into real money. Win even if your bet loses. Give it a try at oddsmonkey.com for just £1 when you sign up to premium using the offer code BERGCAMP.
Hello and welcome to a Gooner Ramble. I'm your host James, and we've got two amazing regulars as always joining us. First of all, ladies first, Amanda, how you been? How's the weekend? Apart from ruined like mine.
I'm trying to sort of be a bit more upbeat, positive. It's really tough because it's all shit in it, really.
Yeah.
But yes, good evening.
Good evening. And Woz, how you doing, mate?
I'm turning into a manic depressant.
Yeah.
Depressing.
Depressing. I've had a few weeks head start on you, I think, mate. Maybe even years.
Yeah. Oh, mate, I'll tell you something now. It's getting harder and harder, isn't it? Oh,
yeah, well, Samaritans don't even answer my calls now. They're like, not him again. Get him off. So we're coming to you tonight off the back of a 3-1 loss away at West Brom. My God. Just my God. Once I go to you, you were there, mate. To start with,
I wasn't.
Oh, you wasn't there.
To start off the horrific day, my car wouldn't start, so in turn I couldn't get to the game.
No.
So that was the worst. That was the worst start of the day.
Well, actually, that's not too bad.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm really weird. I kind of hate the fact that I've missed it, even though I'm quite glad the fact I've missed it. But it was. There's nothing worse than getting up ready, all excited to go to the game and that happening. So, yeah, I was fuming, and then obviously the way the day developed. But no, unfortunately, mate, I didn't make the game, and I suppose fortunately, mate, I didn't make the game. Yeah, but God.
I was going to ask you what the feeling was like, so I'll just wipe that off my notes. But no, just to start with, before actually the game kicked off and everything, obviously the old plane went up, the first one. What did you guys make of that before the game? You know, there's a lot of people saying maybe do it after. Do you do it half time? You know, they're coming out of the tunnel. You could hear it. You could hear the brrr, you know, bit like you, Amanda, sometimes when your printer or whatever's on in the background, we hear the whirring noise. What did you guys think? Did you think that was a bit? You know, was that the wrong time? I mean, for me, everyone's entitled to opinion. Everyone's entitled to a protest. I think two planes is, as for our club, people talk about that dog banner. I find this really fucking embarrassing. I'm sorry, I really do.
This is beyond cringe. I'm really not a fan of the plane, and then to have another one, I actually think other fans must be just laughing. We capitulated in the game, which we'll talk about in a minute, and then we've got two planes. And the weirdest thing is that the second plane, Pro Wenger, came seconds after we scored. It's like you couldn't plan it. It was so bizarre. Not for me, I'm afraid. Really not for me. Flying planes over football matches is not for me. We cringed when United did it. I don't feel any different now, I'm afraid.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
that was.
The more and more I think about it, the more and more it makes me laugh. And I'm trying to think, like, what has happened to our football club? We've got a group of players who are bloody brilliant players who don't seem to have a clue what the manager's trying to implement. Everyone's fighting in the stands. We've got aeroplanes flying over stadiums with Wenger in and Wenger out banners. We've got bloody banners for dogs in our stadium for key players. What is going on at Arsenal Football Club? You know what, mate? I've gone beyond. I don't know what is happening. I can't work out. This is not real anymore. Like, I need to be put out of this weird, miserable world that football's put me in at the moment, because there's so many strange things going on. And flying a plane, an actual plane with a banner over the ground. Two. Well, one of them was ridiculous enough, and no matter what your opinion, and then see another one fly with the opposing opinion of. Jesus Christ, what is going on? I'm baffled, mate. And that's without even wondering what's going on the bloody pitch, isn't it? I mean, this ain't even in the stands. This is hundreds of feet up above the pitch. What's going on?
See, the thing is, right, have either of you two seen the Truman Show?
Yes.
The film,
Yeah,
the Truman
one of my favourite
Show.
films of all time. Yeah.
You haven't seen it, Warren, no?
No.
No,
Jim
okay.
Carrey, brilliant
Yeah.
movie.
Jay, do you understand what I mean? I feel like I'm in the Truman Show.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah,
like...
it's the same things every week.
Yeah, right.
Same people are there saying hello, yeah.
Yeah, I just quickly relay it to Warren. It is a guy's in a reality show, but he doesn't know he's in it. He's in like a reality world. He's got a wife that's not really a wife. She's in the TV show. So it's bizarre. And he thinks something's going on, but he can't put his finger on it. Bang. That is our club. You know what? I swear, I feel like I'm in the Truman Show because forget the planes and the march last week. I've been to lots of aways this year, fighting every time a goal goes in. We've got a manager that doesn't know what he's doing, a coach, a defensive coach that's supposed to be teaching our defenders to defend. I don't know what he's doing. I've always put the blame solely on Wenger because he picks the team. Now, the last couple of weeks, it's the team as well for me. They look like they've never even played together. I've got on all players we can discuss, but what has happened to Bellerin from world class to absolute tosh? I don't know what's going on there. Mustafi, I can't work out whether he's got complete potential or he's atrocious. I mean, I know we can go through all the players as well. The only one I will not criticise is Alexis. I just will not. But I honestly feel like we're all living in a madhouse at the moment because I've gone back to the 80s and discussed when Terry kneeled on how all that happened. Then we wanted George Graham out. I know you're a lot younger than me, you two, so you weren't around then. But I remember being outside Highbury, outside the Marble Steps, as we said, me and this guy arguing with two guys who wanted George Graham to stay and we didn't, and Sky News were filming us. And it was exactly as it is now. We were saying we wanted George out. They were saying we wanted George in. And George did go a few months later, not because of us, but for different reasons. I feel we're all going insane. Honestly, I feel like my football club, our football club, is sending us insane because not only are they just poor on the pitch, right? And let's just discuss zonal marking for a second in a minute. But, we're watching a plane go over, right, not normal behaviour, and then another plane. And I'm telling you, 100% in my head, that's done by Arsenal. I said it yesterday. I bet you they did it.
Well, I don't know if you've seen, but it was on She War's page and some other people on Twitter were talking about it today. Apparently it was purchased by a company in Hong Kong, which is got ownership with one of the brothers of Chips Keswick. So
I'm not surprised. I said it yesterday. I called it in the pub. I called it in the pub yesterday. Mark and Steve.
My dad said exactly the same thing.
I said, wouldn't it be funny if Arsenal did this? I was joking. I didn't know anything. I was joking about this, thinking, who else would do this?
Timing was immaculate, though, wasn't it? Straight after like you said, straight after that goal.
Honestly, seconds.
That plane's just there straight away.
Yeah, that wasn't planned. That is complete coincidence.
Yeah,
that's bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like out of the 90 billion clubs in this league, we're just the complete laughing stock. If you want to laugh, you got to watch us.
Yeah. Well, go back into the game now. The lineup and everything. I thought that team was good enough to beat West Brom. I thought that's the team that everyone's sort of really been calling for the last couple of weeks. All right, Ozil. God knows what's going on here. He's got the flu, then he's got a knock, then he's got this, then he's got that. I don't know if he's being naughty stepped. I don't know if he's like, I can't be asked for you lot anymore. Because, for someone who had the flu, he's having a great time down bloody Mega Bowl or wherever he was the other week with the others. He's playing, he's on his Snapchat playing bowling, wasn't he? I'm like, he's well enough to go bowling and have a slush puppy. But when it comes to helping us get points and trying to secure top four and everything, he can't do it. Pisses me off. But, we go in 4 minutes in and straight away that Neon, just like you've said, Amanda, Bellerin at the moment. All right, I can't criticise. I've got long hair. I put an Alice band in sometimes to keep the air out of my eyes. He's gone now for this shit Mulan top knot thing. I don't know if that's affecting his game. But what has happened to that boy? what has happened, because he looks suspect now. And Monreal, the other side's been suspect all season. I'm sorry, I love that. I love Nacho Monreal, but we got to upgrade there, definitely. But God knows what's wrong with Bellerin.
Oh, I'll tell you something now, JJ. We can talk individuals until the cows come home, because it's bigger. It's a much bigger issue. There's issues everywhere on the pitch with every player. Like you're saying, it's like we've got 11 men that have never kicked a ball together before, and it's like they've just met on a Sunday and just gone, oh God, you come my team, yeah, that's it. Nobody is on the same wavelength. Nobody believes in the club. Nobody believes in the direction. Nobody can seem to. Oh well, there's not one player performing to their levels. Even Alexis, there's not one man on that pitch who's performing to their levels, and there's not been one man doing that for a long, long time. And I mean, with regards to Meza, I personally think he's just burnt out. I think watching him for the whole first half of the season, he was everywhere. He's playing as centre forward where Alexis is dropping in, then he's running down the wing to cover a Iwobi. He's all over the shop, and he's just fucked. And don't get me wrong, he probably is pissed off as well. And I'd be gutted to know that any of our players were refusing to play or anything like that. I'd be absolutely ashamed, and I'd be fuming, and I'd want whoever it is out of the club just like that. But mate, these men, I mean, the form of these individuals. I mean, I look at these players and I look at their qualities and their technical abilities and the things they're good at, and no one can seem to do anything. They can't even pass a ball 5 yards. We can't even mark from corners. We can't. There is a serious issue, and for me, I said it a long time ago now. I genuinely do feel that the players have lost belief in what Arsenal's trying to implement, and I don't feel that they. It's weird, because in any form of work, I mean, if I'm at work and my boss is being an absolute wanker to me and he's making me do a load of things that I don't think are the best way of doing it, you do it because they're your boss, but they're never going to get the best out of you, are they? And when you're looking at these individuals on the pitch, I mean, bloody hell, we know how good Bellerin is. Mustafi's a fantastic centre back, but I don't know what's going on. There's so many players you can look at and question. I mean, our front four yesterday, barring Alexis on occasion, we offered absolutely nothing. Danny Welbeck, I'm sorry, I love that guy, but what the hell? Like I'm saying, we could pick and choose on every player, but the wider picture is the more alarming one, and it's not a one-off now, is it? It's week in, week out, and like, we've had a couple of victories lately against the mighty Sutton and the huge, horrible Lincoln, and we've come through them unscathed. But I mean, let's be honest, we've been bashed by Bayern Munich. We've been embarrassed in pretty much every game we're playing. No one's on board with it. Arsenal's future is hanging over the club, and it is killing everyone to a man in the stands, the pilots. Everything's going wrong and everything's going on. And I just think Arsenal needs to come out and just. I mean, if he does stay, I'll be devastated. I can't see the future being anything other than a shambles if he does stay. And I mean, I see rumours about 20 minutes ago that Arsenal apparently have approached Thomas Tuchel, according to Bild, the main German newspaper. But again, it's just paper talk. But hopefully we are getting the wheels in motion and we can get someone in that this squad of players believes in, because I don't think it's going to be a huge overhaul of personnel, and I don't think we need that. I just think that they need something to believe in and a direction. And I think there's leaders on that pitch. It just seems that no one. Look, mate, I'm miffed. I'd love to know what to say, but I'm just devastated, and I don't know where we're heading.
Can I just say something about Ozil?
Yeah,
I think he was dropped. Actually, that's what I think, and I love him. So for me, I'm distraught if that would have been the case. But that is a big rumour that he's just dropped him. Whether that's true or not, how can he be ill and playing bowling? When you've got the flu, you're in bed. So whatever. With regards to everything that Warren says, totally agree. I can't, accentuate any more, except the fact that I just slightly disagree to say we haven't got any leaders. None at all. I was at Liverpool way behind the nets, like the goal net. I've never watched a game through a net, and I watched the first half through a net. Both the goals were down that end. And I watched them. When the ball went in, they just all looked at each other like, "What's going on?" I was watching Goals on Sunday this morning. I haven't watched it in about 10 or 12 years, but I was determined to see what they said about us. And they did have Ray Parlour on, who is quite diplomatic, but he will say. I tweeted him. I said, can you ask Ray Parlour what Tony Adams would have said to Mustafi for their second goal? Because I think he'd have dragged him off the fucking pitch. I said, so we don't have any leaders, Warren. We don't. We have really good players. I mean, you look at our goal. Our goal was superb. That build-up was brilliant. But that was it. That was it. It's like I am a bit sort of miffed and confused as to actually what's going on. I'm a bit annoyed at the players more actually now because they are paid a big sum to play every week. If you don't want to play for that manager anymore, that's regardless. Okay, your job is to go on that pitch, be professional and do the best you can. They are not doing the best they can. That's it. End of. They're not. Then we have Cech get injured. A Spooner fuck up for the third goal or second goal. You've got, honestly, I want to talk about Bellerin for about an hour because I don't know what's going on. I don't know how you become, he virtually was world class, wasn't he? I mean, he was just superb. I loved him. Maybe not world class, but, brilliant. Yeah? He's shit. So I don't know how you go from that to that so quick, unless you're carrying an injury. I don't know. I'm with you, Warren, on Welbeck. Love Welbeck. But what did he do yesterday? Don't start me on Walcott because me and you'll disagree on this. I don't rate him at all. But if we are going to go through, not each individual player, but let's just start with goal number 1, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Aaron Ramsey, who didn't fucking block him.
Makes the save originally from McLean, which is brilliant. I'm like, well, that was a class save, but yeah, you go for it for this goal. Yeah, go for it.
Can I just say something? Sorry, I know I've spoken a bit, but let me just say, when we talk about the goal, I don't have an issue with zonal marking if it's done properly. Our defenders were zonal marking properly. The problem was the midfielders weren't doing their jobs blocking that run. So what do you want the zonal marking to do? He's free. Aaron Ramsey's looking around like, hello, where you gone? So let's just start with goal number 1. Go on.
Yeah, well, you say about Aaron Ramsey, he's the one who gets beat on the run, and then Koscielny gets out jumped, and it's easy as you like. That Dawson's just laughing all the way to the bank with that. But people have gone, oh, fucking Ramsey ball watching, and then there's about 5 of them that just turn around and go, oh shit. It's literally like you've said, Amanda. All of them just turn and look at each other like, oh great.
Yeah, here we go.
There's no responsibility there. Like, okay, Ramsey, he's been singled out. He's the sole corporate. He's the sole one that hasn't taken accountability of the run coming in, but. To get from the penalty spot to there with that ease. And there's no challenging or, people have said, oh, he's out physically, jumped Koscielny and all that. Koscielny doesn't even know he's there. From where I've looked at it, he don't know he's there till the ball's in the back of the net.
And the worst thing, the irony of Wenger coming out and saying, we have to watch their set pieces. The irony, we have practiced, we are doing it, we are talking about this, yet we are the only team that can't defend set pieces. It is a fucking joke. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but what wound me up the most about it, we saw, remember Ozil took pelters a little while ago, wasn't it? The same thing. Just the geezer floats off him, scores ahead. I mean, I'm not being funny. I don't know whether you agree with me, but I think Peter Cech should be fucking punching people's heads off. What's he doing? Like, he's in his 6-yard box. The geezer... Yeah, he's a big bloke. And Cech, you've got arms, you've got hands. Use your hands and fucking punch something. Do you know what I mean? He's not, for a bloke of his size, he should be out there wiping people out. He should be punching through Koscielny and Dawson. That's what you want to see your keepers doing. And I just, like you said, he made a fantastic save to before the corner. But then I just want to see. Look, there's just not one person, like you said, Amanda. Not one person seems to want to shape up and take responsibility. And like you said at Liverpool, when the goal goes in and that the other day, everyone just stands there and almost goes, oh, fucking hell, here we go again. It's happened again. We've conceded a goal and another goal just like that. And it's almost as if they're like, well, we knew that was going to happen. But
yeah.
What, like, why? And I'm like, Ramsey, he doesn't even attempt to block the run. And then once he leaves Ramsey's zone and he's running into Koscielny, like, the whole thing is just an absolute joke. And for me, zonal marking, that's fine if you want to do it. But I personally think, well, you've got someone as strong as Craig Dawson in the air, and you can pinpoint an opponent, and you can say they're two strongest men in the air. I personally think you need to mark them, and I think you need to ensure that whatever you do, they cannot get to the ball, and whether that's a deliberate block and Ramsey didn't do it, or the Koscielny stays man for man with him, you get your best header of the ball against theirs, or something. We needed, and like you said, Amanda, we needed to be spot on our set pieces. And Wenger, the fact he's come out and it's obvious, it's blatantly obvious. You're playing a Tony Pulis team that have been shit on set pieces all season, and the first one, we can't deal with it. And you're like, Jesus Christ! So here we go, and you think, bloody hell, heads down. And I thought, luckily we responded quickly, but I mean that could have. It was just a shambolic goal to concede, and a goal that we've conceded far too many of, and it was the lack of. No one cared, did they really? It didn't look like they cared. Not one person, and I just think everyone's so shot to bits. I think they're so mentally exhausted. I don't think anyone really knows what's going on, and it's got to the stage where they don't look like they care, and clearly they do care. They must care, but something ain't right, is it? Really ain't right.
No, and like you said, we did respond early, and what a goal that was. I mean, Xhaka produces one of the best passes you'll see. Lovely. As soon as Sanchez takes it down, I'm like, that's going in. He'll score. He hits the underside of the bar, and it's 1-1. And you're thinking, right, okay, let's just try and find our footing again and kick on. I mean, it was a absolutely fantastic goal, but his celebrations and everything, he seemed all right. And then when the others come towards him, I don't know, the body language just seemed really weird. I don't know if they were just relieved or something or other. It didn't seem that was a crucial, like, right, okay, we're ready now, let's kick on. It just seemed like, oh, thank God we've pulled it back. I don't know if that was the general opinion of everybody else or.
Well, it was, like you said, it was more muted. It was sort of everyone's running over a few fist pumps and all this, and then back to the halfway line and let's get on with it. But when you're in a good run of form, that kind of celebration, you'd say, oh yeah, look, come on, that's good. They know they're out there to win. They're just back in the game. But we know how much of a poor run we've been on, and you'd expect a bit more of a rousing response. And I don't know what's going on. I mean, what a goal as well, by the way. We must say that, like you said, Granit Xhaka. I thought Xhaka had a great game. I thought he was brilliant on the ball. I thought he was creating chances. I thought Xhaka had a top game, but he can pick them people out with them diagonal balls, and Alexis retained his width really well, and he was in the end unmarked, and what a composed finish, like you said. But we didn't do enough of anything during that game, absolutely anything, and I think there's a lot of contributing factors to our downfall, but I think the biggest one that hurt us was Wells. He was non-existent, but yeah, I mean, the goal, we got it back, we're back in it, and you think, come on, and like you said, a muted celebration back to the halfway line, and we just don't look up for it anymore. We just don't. I don't know what to say. I really don't. I think hopefully you know what to say, Amanda, because I'm baffled with it all at the moment. I really am.
I don't think any of us know what to say, Warren. Honestly, I think we're all baffled, we're all pissed off, we're all angry. And then to top it all, we've got planes flying over. We've got a manager who sits on TV and says, I'll tell you when I'm ready. There will be an announcement. Do you know what? Who the fuck are you to do this? You are ruining our club with just that. Okay, I'm not saying he's killing our club. I'm not that extreme and stuff. But what I'm trying to say is, don't come out and do this, because you're destabilising everything. You know, we're going into a semi-final. We've got Tottenham coming up. We've got City twice. We've got United in May. You know, I'm not so bothered whether we get top four or not. I'm sick of the Champions League shit every year. 20 years of the same old thing. So I'm not so worried about that. But for confidence of our team, I would like to win every game. We can now not know where our next win is coming from. If we've only beaten Sutton and Lincoln, and no disrespect to them, and we can't beat West Brom away, or what's coming up next?
They couldn't even fill their ground, Amanda, yesterday.
I know, I saw.
It's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing.
I'm not being horrible to West Brom or whatever, because fair play to them. They scouted us completely, done us on two set pieces, done us on the counter. You can't whinge, you know, completely well done to them. But it is the same old usual routine. Like, we go up north. I don't know if it's the cold or whatever, you know, can you do it on the cold, wet nights in Stoke and all of this stuff, which everyone's said for years. But any team that gets physical, any team that's got big burly, you know, I like to call them big burly bastards, that's what I call them. I don't know, the arseholes just drop. We just crumble.
Well, the thing is, it's on TV, it's 12:30. We're not a bigger draw as we used to be. That's another factor. People stay home and they're just watching it on TV. Of course, we're a big club. We come into town. You would normally fill the ground or whatever. But I'm not really... I'm just shocked that we allowed, within 15 minutes, a set piece to be so easily won like that and be 1-0 down. I think it was 12 or 13 minutes. This is not the Arsenal we know. We would be fighting. We've only got one fighter in the team, which is Sanchez. He wants everything, you know. Look, he has his faults, of course he does. But at the end of the day, we need him and many others to be like that attitude. Fight for it. Get that ball out the net. Get to the fucking kickoff and get on with it. And start defending properly as a team. I feel like we need to put Tony Adams on that pitch. You don't have to do anything. Just fucking sort him out. I'm telling you, when I watched him, Bold, Keown, Dixon, Winterburn, I know I'm going back, but that is a proper defence. Let me tell you, one of them did something wrong. He was on them. He was on them. We had no fear of leaders. We didn't need leaders. We had him. You know, and then obviously we did have leaders, other leaders as well. Vieira. I mean, oh, God, if only we could find a Gilberto. Seriously, that is what we need.
It's like you've said, though. We just need someone to G him up.
Yes,
I don't know, like put me on the
bloody pitch. I tell you, any of us, we're all passionate. We all know what we need to do. You know what? I it's starting to annoy me a lot is that if you do want Wenger out, apparently you don't support the team. That's a bollocks. Like, Warren travels home and away. I travel home and some aways. You know what? We don't support our team. We don't want. I've never been under the illusion of let's lose every game so he will go. I'd never, ever want Arsenal to lose unless it stopped Tottenham winning the league. Then I would lose 10-0. But, of course, I would never want my team to lose. I still don't. But this attitude of you can't support your team if you want a change, honestly, I could swear all night. But we're all confused, Jay. We're all upset. We all don't know what's going on. It's fucked everyone's weekends up again. It's like you've got Liverpool City drawing, you've got Tottenham winning, you've got United going above us. When's the last time we were sixth? And Everton, aren't they on the same points as us with a couple of goal difference?
Yeah, they're sticking around.
I know we got an odd game in hand, but I don't know where we're going to get 3 points from. I'm sorry. I can't see it.
Yeah, and I mean, touching on something you said earlier as well is, I'll let you know when I make my decision.
Oh, don't.
And at the end of the day, regardless of what he's done, who he is, how important he is at the moment with everything, because he feels more than just a football manager role, which he shouldn't be allowed to do, in my opinion. He wears too many hats in there for me. But you're an employee. I don't care what you say. You're an employee, and you're holding people to ransom. I mean, I don't know what you two both do for a living, but if you don't make target, you're out. And he's looking at not making target, yet he might be rewarded for it, or he might get another chance to put it right. That to me is wrong. That I don't know any other place of work anywhere. If you don't meet target, you get to stay. And then if I went into my work and said to my boss, "Oh yeah, I'll let you know when I'm ready to do that," he'd be like, "You what? You pardon?" They'd hold the door open for me there and go, "Off you when you're ready, James. Step out." I honestly think it's ridiculous how he gets to hold it to ransom.
JJ, the thing that sums it up for me, I mean, imagine you're a West Brom fan, right? They've not been happy under Tony Pulis. They're not enjoying their style of football. They're not too happy, but they've turned up at the ground at the weekend, and like we've said, they've looked up in the sky. They've seen one plane fly over. Then they've seen their team go 1-0 up. Then we've equalised. They've looked up the sky, seen another plane go over. Then they go 3-1 up. They're laughing their heads off, and they're all singing, "Arsene Wenger, we want you to stay." This is West Bromwich Albion fans mocking us, completely embarrassing us. They can see it. The fans of every other club can see it. They all know that Arsenal's time has come to an end. Don't get me wrong. There's a minority of fans of other clubs are like, yeah, look what everything he's done for you. Most of them can see that he is unfortunately holding us back. And to have fans of all these clubs week in, week out singing Arsene Wenger, we want you to stay. I mean, what does that say? Surely you must look at that. Surely, but I don't think he has a conscience. I don't think he cares what anyone else thinks. And I think that is half the problem. And he's being left to his own devices, and someone at this club needs to stand up with some bollocks and say, look, Arsene, it's not on, fella. Like, I know we'll love and respect you for everything you've done, and I'm feel gutted to say that I'm starting to lose respect by the week, by the day, because I listen to his press conferences, I listen to the things he says. It's borderline delusional. He's becoming an embarrassment. I'm genuinely fearing for his health. That's how it feels. That I think he's got nothing other than his football, and he's too scared to let go. And he sounds awful talking about a man like this, but the things I've seen and the strange decisions and the way he approaches things, and I'm baffled. And this needs to end. This really, really needs to end now, because the longer this goes on, the worse it's going to get. And we could. I mean, I really, really don't, like Amanda says, I don't fancy us in any of these games coming up, but to be at West Brom away 3-1 down and have the home fans singing Arsene Wenger, we want you to stay. I mean, come on, level on points with Everton at this stage of the season. We've been atrocious for a long, long time now, and he's got to stand up and he's got to take responsibility, and more than that, the men above him and the powers that be need to stand up and really come out and make a statement and say, look, Arsene, it's enough's enough. Thanks for everything, but it's time to go. But
Warren, you're assuming that that's the case. I don't think it is. I think the board know exactly what he's doing, but they've probably asked him to stem it at the moment because they know about the protests and what's going on, and maybe they just want a couple of wins. Like, I'm just surmising here, okay? Because I think they know exactly what he's doing. Gazidis wouldn't allow this to go on. He's not an idiot. It's March. They need to know what he's doing, because otherwise they need a manager for August, for the summer. So I personally think, this is my view, he's signed. He's enjoying the I'll do what I want because he's that sort of guy. I do believe he loves Arsenal, but I do believe he's taken them as far as they could, probably 5-6 years ago anyway. I only woke up to the fact about 2.5 years ago that I wanted him gone. My dad's been about 6 years now. But anyway, I think that what's going on is that the board have said we're not making any announcements yet, just fend them off. I think so. I think he's signed. I do. I don't know whether it's 1 year or 2 years, but I do. I'm hoping I am completely wrong. And he just goes, you know what? I appreciate my time has come. Because like you, Warren, each day goes past, I'm starting to despise him. And I don't want to feel like that. It's a very awkward situation, because I was chatting about the protest with Mark yesterday. I just feel I feel uneasy and awkward, because it's like your granddad. He could be my granddad, right? Or dad, actually, be your granddad. And I just feel like, it's like we're battering an old man mentally. Do you know what I mean? There's thousands of people on social media, in the papers, TV, on the streets, at work. I'll walk into work tomorrow and they'll just laugh. They just laugh. I'll just laugh with them. There's nothing I can say. And I just feel uneasy, but he's bringing this on himself, I'm afraid. The club are as well. He needs to tell us his decision. This is why, it annoys me so much. If I was shit at my job, I wouldn't be able to say to my boss, I'll tell you my decision. I'd be out the door. It's just nonsense. It's nonsense. It's disrespecting us. And honestly, we're all going to be craving around the computer tomorrow to get semi-final tickets, or, to apply for them. For what? For what? We're going to beat City at Wembley. We can't even beat West Brom away. So I just feel like they owe us, anyone that spends any money, whether it just be watching at home, supporting them in Africa or in America, wherever it is. We're all Arsenal fans. I spend a lot of money, but it doesn't mean I'm any more entitled to feel the pain that someone else isn't that doesn't go to the game. I've never felt like that. But there's people that travel further than me. I know people that go every home and away, everywhere, all the time, thousands and thousands of pounds. And you know what? I think they're disrespecting us by going, we'll tell you when we're ready. No, it's ruining us now. Get on with it. Fucking planes flying. I swear, I feel like I'm living in a parallel universe. Sorry, I'm so angry. I'm angry with the club. You know, I said it yesterday. I'm angry with Conte. I'm angry with the board. I'm angry with Wenger. I'm angry with the team. You know, and don't you dare come out and blame the fans. Don't you dare. Oh my God, I'm livid.
No, thing is, JJ, sorry mate, but
go for it.
I'll tell you something now. When the 1st of June comes, the club will be wanting that full payment up front for your season ticket.
Oh yeah.
You can't turn around and go to them. Nah, what I want to do is I just want to see. I'll wait and see how the first few games go, and then I'll tell you my decision.
I'll let you know.
Yeah, I'll let you know in about September. I'll let you know how I feel then, and then I might pay you, I might not. Bollocks to it. Do you know what I mean? They need to come out and be honest and front the situation, because this situation is worse than it has been ever under Arsene Wenger. And obviously, previously you had the George Graham situation and all that. I wasn't old enough to really fully understand the goings on there, but this for me is as bad as it. And I mean, people think we're talking absolute nonsense, but we are the 5th richest club in the world. We are not a small club, and Arsene Wenger has got a massive part to play in that, and we're forever thankful for everything he's done. But it's over. It's finished. And if you can't look at them 11 men on the pitch and you can see Wenger's failings being bred through them players on the pitch, not one of them believe, not one of them are in with it. It's almost as if they all know that he's gone. They spend every day with this guy and a lot of these players have joined the club for Arsene Wenger, not just for Arsenal, for Arsene Wenger. They love the man. They love everything he's achieved. He's got so much respect within the game, but I just get the horrible feeling that he's lost them, and he's lost the fans, he's lost the players, and the situation's getting worse and worse and worse. And what's happening now is we're losing games, and that is what should be the nail in the coffin. But we all know that might not be the case.
Yeah. It's not good at all. I mean, going back on the game, 32 minutes in, Ramsey has that shot. Walcott can't find his footing to get one in, and Shet makes the save afterwards from Fletcher, which was brilliant again. He goes off injured kicking the ball. Ospina comes on, and I was quite a Ospina fan the other year. I thought Ospina was a good second choice, but I think lately I don't think he's good enough. I mean, you can say what you want about his performances against PSG and everything else, but at the end of the day, he conceded 10 goals over 2 games. And that's not good for any goalkeeper, in my opinion. And you can blame the defence for the goals and everything else as well, but at the end of the day, it's him picking them out of the net. And whatever he was thinking, I mean, Bellerin and Mustafi as well for this Robson-Kanu goal. Just if either of you want to jump in on it, I don't know what was going through all 3 of their heads.
We're getting run all over the shop, mate. We were getting pulled out of position for the whole game. At times, it was almost from set pieces where the ball's dead. No one's organised. It's just men running everywhere. It's like watching a parody of a football team. You could put on Benny Hill music in the background and just watch it for 5 minutes, and you'd see like it's madness. The amount of the lack of position, the lack of awareness, the simple balls they were playing in behind time and time again, and we were just getting pulled all over the park. And the struggles that we're seeing, and that goal as well, what pissed me off so much is the ball got laid to the edge of the box. The geezer, he stood on the edge of Arsenal's box in about 15 yards of space. We're playing 3 central midfielders, and not one of them, not Xhaka, Ramsey or Ox, were anywhere near this bloke. He could have sat down, had a 4-course meal, then looked up and chipped the ball over. It was embarrassing on the edge of our own box, and you're thinking, fucking hell, how's he got that time and space? And it's just, what is going on? And then Ospina, the whole thing was shambolic. It was just if you could encapsulate how poor we've been of late, that goal showed it all. And it's just, I keep saying, I cannot put my finger on it. I'm beyond devastated now, because seeing all these players, and we know that they're good footballers, we know their abilities, and we just can't. This ain't right. It's just not right. And when you watch, I mean, I watched it back again earlier, and I couldn't quite believe what I was seeing. But part of me could quite believe what I was seeing. But I just don't understand it. You've got Steve Bold, who's one of the best no-nonsense defenders out there, who's our assistant manager. I mean, what is going on behind the scenes? Like, surely he's not teaching them to defend like that. I mean, surely. The whole goal was shambolic, but yeah, what wound me up the most about the whole situation was the space and time that bloke had on the edge of the box just to pick that pass. And there's questions that it was tight for offside, wasn't it? But you'd probably give him the benefit of the doubt. And it's just a shocking goal to concede. Really, really shocking goal.
What do you think about Mustafi Warren? Do you think it is just, he had that tag of, I'm the invincible, they've been undefeated and everything else like that. He come across as, the analogy I'll use is we've all had one of them mates when we all go out clubbing. He's put in his aftershave, he's done his hair, he's put his shirt on. He goes out thinking he's the dogs, and then when he meets up with you, you're all like, "Oh, are you sure about that shirt?" And then that's it. You just have that little tiny, it's that little knock. Just all. Well, what do you mean?
I think it's.
No, it froze him. He just looks rattled. He looks rattled all the time. And I'm like, you're Mr. Competent. I'm like, you're the saving grace this season, because for me, and so many people I know have said it, one of the biggest myths in football going is that we're a good football side. Because this year, I ain't seen it.
We're not.
We've scraped wins this year.
Yeah, big time. Mustafi's so off his game at the moment. Even simple things like at the start of the season where he's fizzing
I'm calling
passes.
for Holding or Mertesacker to come back.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to make a difference, mate. I don't even. You could put any centre back in the world in there, and I don't think it would make a difference. I just think that the team do not believe. And Mustafi, like I was saying, at the start of the season, the geezer was pinging balls through the line from centre back, wasn't he? Getting it into feet, lovely passes, early passes. He looked really good, great solid partner of Koscielny, and all of a sudden he's just like a fish out of water. And we're in trouble. We're in real trouble.
We were talking after the Watford game, weren't we, about because the midfield and there was a lack of stuff on the wings happening. Same again yesterday. He's doing these Hollywood passes. He's making himself look a twat because they're going over. I mean, all right, he scored for one in the end.
Yeah.
I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, will you just play it on the ground, mate? Just do it simple. I'm like, what? I'm like, where in your head have you got this thought that you can be this, Xabi Alonso deep playing centre half, pinging the balls left, right, and centre? I don't get it. It just wastes possession.
Thing is, he can, but he's just not. I think it's confidence levels and a lack of belief throughout the team from number 1 to number 11. And I just think everyone's having a mare at the moment, aren't they? Absolutely everyone. The fan base are having a mare. The managers, the coaching staff are having a mare. The players on the pitch, just wow. I mean, but this has been a long time coming. Let's not kid ourselves. And it's gutting for me that it's getting to this stage where this is how it's going to end. Where, like Amanda said, Wenger's being resented. And it shouldn't be like that. It really shouldn't be like that. But he should never have let it get to this stage. And personally, I think that after his first FA Cup win, I do think he earned that additional season or two just to, we come out of that sort of obscurity where we had no money and where he was doing wonders with these squads. And then he had Sanchez and Ozil, and that was his chance. And he's had that chance, and it's been and gone. And he said himself, I'll win the league within 3 years. And now we're sat here in the third year, in 6th place, joint on points with Everton, knocked out of the Champions League, absolutely embarrassed, knocked out of the League Cup at home by Southampton. We got an FA Cup semi-final, but to get there, we played Southampton reserves, Sutton, Lincoln and Preston. Like, let's be brutally honest about this season. It's been a shambles, mate, an absolute shambles. And our performance at West Brom away just encapsulated the whole scenario that we find ourselves in. And it's not going to change for me until Arsene Wenger goes. And something needs to happen quick, really quick, because I really do think we're staring down the barrel of possibly even finishing below Everton, because we've got to go to Stoke, we've got to go to Southampton, we've got to play United, we've got to play City, we've got Spurs away. We have not got an easy game left this season. And when you're on a run like we're on, no game's easy no matter who you're playing. We even struggled early doors against Lincoln. We struggled a bit against Sutton. Like, it's just not happening. It's really not happening.
We play Everton on the last game of the season, which is quite ironic.
Oh, no, imagine that, a battle for 6th. No, it's just beyond belief, isn't it?
I know, but we need to sort of can we find any positives? Anything?
It finished. They blew the whistle on 90 minutes.
We haven't got a game next weekend?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Positive.
international break for once, so I'm
Well,
finally
we're
happy.
going to hopefully find out the decision next week or the week after, aren't we? After the break.
Is it what from Wenger? Is that what you said?
Yes. The man's big decision will be this week, won't it? Apparently.
I don't listen to anything he ever says anymore, so I don't know. It's just like
No,
the
neither do I. I
players.
used to listen to everything. We had to
Yeah.
hush in the house when he spoke. My dad would be like, hey, no, now
Fingers
we just
on.
turn it off. Yeah, we
God's
turn it
on.
off.
Oh, I don't know. We're trying to find something positive to end this.
Ain't even touched on that third goal yet, have we?
Oh God.
No, just replay the first goal. It's the same old rubbish, isn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible.
Ox puts in, and I think Oxlade-Chamberlain next to Sanchez has been the best player that we've had the last couple of weeks, but that's a lame body check. I don't care what anybody says. Look at the size of him. That's a lame attempt. No, that is a piss poor attempt. I mean, take the red card. I don't know. It would have been less embarrassing. Punch him if you have to. I don't care.
I think we're all at the stage.
Do it as Latin. Just elbow him. I don't know, anything but that.
We're
Anything but
desperately
nothing.
clutching.
Yeah.
What can we say that was good though? What is there anything? I really like to take a positive out of that. I don't think there is one. I'm afraid. Yeah.
Well, the players were a laugh, weren't they?
Yeah. I was very, very. I mean, we barely even touched on the game because we're all so disappointed and upset with the way things are going. But I thought we got it very. I'd have switched Alexis and Welbeck a lot earlier. I'd have had Welbeck on the left-hand side. He was struggling up front. He was making no runs. He weren't holding up the play. He weren't showing feet. He basically done fuck all for the whole game. And
he was unlucky with the header.
Yeah, he was unlucky.
But it was,
yeah, I think he should have scored. I think he should have scored a free header in the 6-yard box. He should score there. But I don't want to bash Welbeck. I don't want to bash any of our players. But I just feel that it might have better suited to the game to have got him out left and got Alexis centre forward. And especially with the way Alexis drops in deep, it sort of brings Walcott more into the game. And we were just so poor going forward. We really were poor. I mean, no one was doing anything, weren't creating any chances. I mean, Ramsey was running all over the pitch, like just free roam. But there was every time he got into a position, there's just no one anywhere near him. And we were just, there's nothing there really ain't anything good to say. And we got a break now, haven't we? And then when we come back, it's just, it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough watch for the rest of the season. And I don't know. I'm going to drag myself up to Middlesbrough on a bloody Monday, Easter Monday. I'll do it. I don't know why I'll do it. I don't want to do it. I'm fed up of doing it.
But so someone else driving this time?
No, luckily I'll get someone else to drive bloody car. Eh? But yeah, it's just so heartbreaking at the moment to be in this scenario. And I forgot we've got Palace away as well, haven't we? And that ain't going to be easy. All these games, even Middlesbrough away, I don't fancy us to go anywhere and win.
Well, they could have a new manager in by then. You know, you've seen the impact these new managers have had already. You know, Leicester are sort of flying again.
Whoa, JJ, be careful what you wish for, mate.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, true, yeah. Yeah, it's funny that, isn't it? New manager and everything sort of seems to come together. It's weird,
that's
isn't it?
That's what it is. That's the one thing I'd say about this group of players. I mean, you only have to look at what's happening this season with Leicester, and you have to look at what happened with Chelsea. I mean, they were 10th in the league. They had all banners, free rats, and all this, slating all their players. And the same 3 players the next season are a key component to them winning the league title and absolutely romping it. And Leicester City, they are champions. And Craig Shakespeare was the number 2. And apparently, by all accounts, Ranieri started changing things. The players weren't along with it. They didn't agree with it. Things were going wrong. All of a sudden, he's gone. They're on fire. So football's a really, really funny game, and it can literally be a flick of the switch. And I don't want to go too much bashing all individuals and players and that, because I really would like to see this entire squad under different management. But before I start casting judgment on the futures of players, but it just needs to stop sooner rather than later and put us out of our misery as football fans, because we don't deserve this. We don't.
Before I wrap it up, I'll ask you just both a serious question. Now, you know, we've all seen it before the last couple of years. It gets all a bit doom and gloomy, and we all think this is it. That's all done. In your heart of hearts and serious opinions now, you know, we get knocked out normally of everything, and then it all clicks. We manage to finish top 4 and everything else, and sometimes get a cup on top of it. Do you believe now that we'll seriously get back into the top 4, or do you think now where we are, that's it?
No, I think where we are is that it. I'm not.
Yes, so do I.
Yeah, James, we're normally on a run by now. We normally run about 4 or 5 games and we're like third or fourth or second. It's not going to happen. It's not. And I know I have to say it most years, but normally we're at like third or fourth by now and we're going, well, will we end up above Tottenham? That's normally what we're talking about. We're not even going to be in the top 4. It's unless, well, we haven't got that many games left, to be honest. And they're not Tottenham away, City at home, United at home, Everton at home, Middlesbrough away, and there's Crystal Palace away. All right, there's no easy games, but you know what I'm saying? No, for me, we're out the top 4. Tottenham will have their day for the first time in God knows how many years. You don't win a trophy for that anyway, but by the by. Will we win the cup? Well, knowing us, we probably could. That would be the most ironic thing about all of this. But do I think we will? No, I don't think we will.
And was?
Like I said at the start, depressed. I'm done, mate. I'm done. I really
Warren
don't
needs
believe.
a counsellor.
I need serious help. I mean, this is when I've sat here looking at our fixtures now, and City at home, West Ham at home, Palace away, Borough away, Tottenham away, United at home, Stoke away, Everton at home. I mean, I'm not confident at any of them fixtures, and I don't know where we could end up anywhere, mate, in this league, and I just hope that not too much damage is done, because whoever does come in, or if Wenger does stay, I mean, I can't see how he can stay, but I don't think we've got any chance of finishing the top 4. And I said a long time ago, and in fact I said at the start of the season, that if this was the same Arsene Wenger we've seen for the last 2 years, I do think we'll finish 6th, because last season was such a falsified position, because Manchester United were going through transition, Manchester City were going through transition, Chelsea were going through transition, Tottenham had their best season ever and they still bottled it, and Leicester City won the title. And we were sat there as the only club in Europe's top 5 leagues not to sign an outfield player in the summer. Are you serious? Are you actually mugging us off? And then we finished second and everyone's like, oh yeah, it's progression. Well, let's be brutally honest. The last 3 seasons, we've got a lower points total than the year before. We are regressing, and we're going to have a lower points total than we had for a long time this year. And Wenger needs to go, and unfortunately, he's the one who needs to be held accountable. We can talk about players, we can talk about everything. There's been one constant over the last 13 years, and that is Arsene Wenger. And for me, top 4's a no-go. Spurs finally finished above us, and this was, for me, the last chance they had to do it, because moving into Wembley and their biggest pitch and a new stadium, they're going to struggle. They're going to struggle next year, and they will struggle for the first few years at their new stadium. They won't be able to attract the players. They might lose Pochettino, and they'll be back down below us again. But this is the year they're going to have their glory, and they'll finally be able to say they finished above us. But I don't fancy us against City. I really don't. I think Gabriel Jesus will be back, and I think it's just painful, mate. And I've starting to come to terms that it's going to end in a really, really painful way, and I've just got to deal with it. But yeah, I'm not confident for any game coming up. I'm not looking forward to any game coming up. I don't enjoy watching Arsenal play football anymore. I don't enjoy being in the stadiums. I don't enjoy being at the ground. I just don't like football anymore. I don't know what's going on. I'm sorry to sound so depressed about things, but it's the harsh reality that the situation our club's in, this is what it's driven me to.
Yeah. And Amanda, have you got anything you want to add there before we leave?
I'm going to look up a football counsellor for Warren, so he's got some help. I'd like to say I've been here before and to help you both through this, but not really. Not even in the 80s. We had no expectations. There was the odd time during the 90s we finished 10th, but it was different. And I was trying to explain this to a mate of mine. This is the worst I've known since before George Graham, I would say. But we were at Highbury. We were ending up 8th and 9th every year, but that's what we did. There was no expectation. The problem is, you move from Highbury and you're promised all these things and this is what's going to happen. It's all bollocks. I'm sorry. You're saying he should have left Warren at Hull. As soon as we won the cup at Hull, goodbye. Leave on a blaze of glory, but no, he wanted to stay. So no, I'm sorry. I don't know what to say. I've got nothing positive. I've never been on a podcast before. I've got nothing positive to say. I'm not looking forward to the next match. I'm really, really not. City at home on a Sunday. Well, I've got a lot of City mates coming down. That's all I can say. I'm going to see them before, not after. But I just feel that, the club owes us. Show us a bit of respect. Just tell us what's going on, and then we'll have to deal with it whether he's staying or going,
Yeah, that's all we can do now is unfortunately play the waiting game.
Yep. I'm so depressed like Warren.
Yeah, it's been a tough one to do, but I'll thank you both for coming on. So thank you, Amanda.
Thank you, James.
You're welcome, and thank you, Woz.
Yeah, thanks so much, JJ.
No worries. Well, that's been a good Ramble. And to everybody in Arsenal Truman Show, good morning, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
This podcast is sponsored by the UK's #1 matched betting site. OddsMonkey shows you exactly how to turn free bets into real money. Win even if your bet loses. Give it a try at oddsmonkey.com for just £1 when you sign up to premium using the offer code BERGCAMP.